So, everybody, if you have a defined solar plexus, this means that naturally you are emotionally intelligent. And technically, you kind of should be emotionally intelligent from birth. But of course, conditioning does come in. And if you are raised by people who are maybe not emotionally intelligent, then you may find that you are being pulled away from that intelligence that you naturally have within you. And the thing to note about being defined with the solar plexus is you actually live on an emotional wave. So you can be high for any reason or for no reason at all. You can be low, you can be in the middle. And in terms of like reacting versus responding in this situation, this is all about understanding where you personally are in your emotional wave at any moment in time. So let's take, for example, you know that you're going to a friend's house and you know that she riles you just a little bit. So you're a little bit on edge and you go in, but before you go in, you take stock. Where am I on my emotional wave? Am I high? Am I low? Am I neutral? Because that then really helps you, gives you conscious awareness before you even step into the situation that, okay, I need to be aware that I'm on the low side of things right now. And that may cause me to react or be negative in some way. Or it could even be that you're on the really high side of things. And again, you could even be reacting through that as well, because sometimes our waves, it will be like, hi, 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 great, great, great. But then you'll walk into the room and you'll, read the moment of the room and you'll go, "Phew, bam. Right. And somebody will just go like that at you and then you'll react and, things will just go. Your emotions may just, spike up and down if you are in that reaction. But again, all it is conscious awareness of where you are in that moment in time. So it's witnessing yourself within that conversation, within that situation, just knowing that, okay, I might want to step away from this right now because I am on my emotionally low wave. It would be great to be neutral in a lot of situations, right? But you can't ever force your emotional wave to become neutral, okay? Because it's nothing to do with your mind. It's all to do with the emotions in your body. Because remember, emotions is energy in motion. So emotions are literally going around your body, every cell of your body, right? You can't change that. You just got to ride it out. Val, do you want to bring in any other comments around that at all? Because I know that you've got some very unique insights to this.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we're so again, just to remind, we're talking about when that is area is filled in, right?
Yes.
So when it's filled in, I think that the biggest thing that really has helped me, I have an open, right? But I also know I surround myself. My parents both had defined centers. My sister has a defined center. So for me, I know that that is something that I was around a lot. And so
Yeah.
what essentially that I get to do and I get to see and I get to remember is that I in knowing that they are these kind of people in the sense that they're going to feel heavy emotion, and if they're not integrated, if they're not emotionally, cognizant, if they're not, you know what I mean, if that's not something they've really really spent time in being healthier around, that I I know that they're going to do this certain thing. Right. And like what you're saying is essentially they have they'll maybe have like go from a high to a low really fast. Right. Or what would you say about emotional reacting? Like I've noticed this, and I don't know if this is true or not, but when I'm around emotional centers that are defined, when I'm in around them, if something happens, they can feel it so big and they need to like express it in some way that's like really big, and they're not very conscious of the other people in the room. And it's
Hmm.
almost like the way that I think about it is they come into a room and they create chaos. And then they feel so fucking good because they feel relieved. They're like, and then everybody that's in it is like, what just happened? So that's one way that I've experienced it, and then the other thing is that sometimes they have to, because they feel so deeply, they have to kind of keep talking about it because it's so common for them to feel so big and everything can be really big. That's another way that I've seen it when it's in the shadow or the not self or when it's
Mm.
not integrated. And I
Yeah.
think the wisdom is when they know that they feel so deeply. And tell me if this lands for you, Charlie, because I don't really know, but this is what I see, is that when they are integrated and they feel deeply, they feel it. They're real about it. They don't pretend they don't feel it. They express it and then they let it go. They let it do what it's supposed to do. It's energy in motion, emotion. And when they do that and I watch them just kind of go. I have this perfect example of this perfect person in my life. She's the greatest fucking person to be around. And I just love it because she's real about her emotion. Bah. And then she's like, moves on. Is that, would you
Yeah.
say that that's one way that defined, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
emotional? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like just going deeper into the chart, there are some people in the world that have emotional intelligence or this, emotional authority, and they don't know it because it's unconscious, right?